Alfredo Morelos is currently on the Colombian beaches soaking up the sun. But will he be back in the beaches of Scotland absorbing the rain? Because his time in Glasgow, his time as a Rangers player could be coming to an end. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football, and we have some breaking news. There's a club interested in Alfredo Morelos, and they're not waiting till the end of the season to get him on a free. No, they want him in January. They're willing to pay Rangers money for this overweight, fat Colombian guy that pretty much is showing zero interest on the pitch at the moment, and that club is Fenerbache. The question is, do they have more money than Sens? Well, depending on what offer they are willing to make, perhaps they do. But Fenerbahce have apparently drawn up a free-man target. They are interested in bringing in a striker, and Morelos is one of those free targets. Now, this kind of offers Rangers both a lifeline and a dilemma, in my opinion. Now, first off, Rangers kind of have two options with Morelos at the moment. Either he runs down his contract and he leaves at the end of the season on a free and they get absolutely nothing, or he signs a new contract, Rangers offer him money, offer him a new deal for the out of form, out of shape, fatty Alfredo Morelos, and on current form that would seem like a waste of money. Now, they could do that in hope that he finds form and then they can sell him later on for a bigger fee, but at the moment that looks like it's our two options, and neither of them are pretty good. Either he leaves on a free at the end of the season, or they have to offer him a deal so they can try and sell him on to get a fee. Now, none of those options sound good for Rangers, but with Fenerbahce coming in, with Fenerbahce showing interest, Rangers now might be able to offload Morelos in January and get some money for him and not have to pay his wages to the end of the season for a guy that at the moment, let's be honest, isn't really contributing anything. So it sounds like a good deal. If Fenerbahce are willing to offer, even if Rangers can get like $1 million or something for him, it does sound like it could benefit Rangers. Not only are they getting a bit of money in for the guy, but they're also getting him off the wage budget. Now, the downside to that is Morelos is a player that Rangers, for years, have always thought they could get at least, 8 figures for. He's always been valued at around the 20 million mark. So for Rangers to lose Morelos now, whether it be on a free or whether it be for a really cheap amount to Fenerbahce because his contract is up in like 5 months, it's going to be a massive blow. Even though the guy isn't playing well at the moment, we cannot deny that Morelos, over the past 5 years, has been a good player for Rangers, and more importantly, he scored goals. Now, he did struggle to get his first goal in the Old Firm, but when he got it, the goals came. And if you look at his stats per season, he's averaging roughly just over a goal every 2 games. So it takes him about 2.2 games per goal, roughly, over the 5 seasons. If you don't include this season. If you include this season, he's averaging 1 goal every 4 games, which of course isn't as good. You could argue a majority of his appearances this season have been from the sub bench. He hasn't been given the full 90 minutes. But regardless, either way, he's not performing this season. So the Rangers, what do they do? Is Morelos' time up? I mean, time and time again, he'd be getting sent off in big games, he'd be getting red cards, letting the club down, and we thought, you know what, he can't come back for this, he can't come back for this, and he has. He's come back numerous times, but is this time one too many? He just doesn't look interested, he doesn't look like he cares, and this is when Rangers need him the most. Rangers are struggling big time. They need someone like Alfredo Morelos to single-handedly rescue them in games, to pick up winners, to be the match winner, to get the goals, and he's just not doing it at the moment. In fact, he's letting the club down big time, and I think if Gio Van Bronckhorst wasn't failing so badly at the moment, there would be more spotlight and there would be more criticism heading the way of Morelos. So, you know what? It's an interesting one. Rangers could potentially get something for him in January. They could keep him till the end of the season and let him go. If he's going to help them to the end of the season, I don't know, really, what's the point? The league's over, in my opinion. The route of Europe, why would you need Morelos? I think if you can get rid of him in January, you would take it. Unless, of course, they plan on offering him a new deal and he finds form again. Don't get me wrong. There is a possibility where I could see a scenario where Rangers sign Morelos and give him another 2-year contract, and who knows, maybe in the second half of the season he finds his old form, he starts scoring goals, and he gets his value back up to like 10 million. That could happen, and then Rangers could sell him in the summer. You never know, but at the moment, I would predict that he isn't interested in signing a new deal, and I think he will go in January if a club is willing to come in and pay money for him, and based on current performances, I don't see that. I think it's more likely that he will leave at the end of the season on a free. But for now, Fenerbahce are interested, and it will be interesting to see if Rangers agree to sell him. At the moment, I would say, why not? Out of Europe, out the league, Cholak's the main striker anyway. Unless Morelos shows drastic improvement in the next couple of weeks when the football starts back, then I think Rangers should probably just try and get something, get him off the wage bill, and find a replacement in January. Now, moving on to some Gio Van Bronckhorst news. Will Gio be going? I'm surprised he's not gone already, and I genuinely believe if Rangers were planning on getting rid of Gio during this break over the winter for the World Cup, I think he'd have been gone already. I think the news would have been broken. So I expect Rangers to keep Gio for now. But how much longer will they keep him for? Bookmakers, especially Betfair, they have got Gio odds-on favourite not to be the Rangers manager by the time Rangers play Celtic on January 2nd. So they think Gio will be gone by the second Old Firm game of the season in January. That's only like a handful of games after the restart from the Winter World Cup. So it looks like Betfred are predicting that maybe Rangers are just going to stick with Gio, and it looks like maybe one more bad result could be what decides his fate. So maybe they think he'll lose. I think Rangers have a tough run against like Aberdeen and Hibs straight from the winter break. So maybe the club is expected to get rid of him when he drops points in one of those games. But in my opinion, that's stupid. If I was Rangers, I would be getting rid of him right now and give a new manager time to come in. That's what I would do. Doesn't look like Rangers are going to do that. But if it was me, that's what I would be doing. I'd be getting rid of Gio right now and give a new manager time to get in, to meet the squad, get familiar with the squad, and to start planning and start preparing for transfers in January. Now, one man that apparently is interested in the Rangers job is Rafa Benitez, but I just don't see that as a viable option. I don't know if Rangers would pay the money for Benitez. I'm sure he would want a hell of a lot, and I just don't know if Rangers are willing to meet it. I don't know if we'll get a manager come from the Premier League directly straight to Scotland. And I know what happened with Brendan Rodgers, but I feel like Rodgers was a one-off. Plus, I do feel like Celtic, out of the two clubs, I just feel like they're more willing to spend money more like on a manager than Rangers are. I just don't see Rangers paying the money Rafa Benitez wants. Albeit, the guy's minted, so he could probably do it for free if he wanted. But yeah, that's not how football works. Anyway, guys, that is it. So Morelos could be gone in January. Fenerbahce are interested in signing him. Just depends whether Rangers are interested in letting him go. On current form, why the fuck would you not let him go? He's let himself go, so you may as well let him go as well. Will Morelos leave? Will he go to Fenerbahce? Let us know in the comments down below. Either way, he's fucking shite. Fenerbahce Rangers, man. The guy couldn't hit a barn door. I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, though, be the fog fit, but peace.